Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Cinematic Trinity, the podcast where we delve into the worlds of movies, TV shows and video games. And today I'm very pleased to say we are talking about It, Welcome to Derry. Woo! We finally got there. We finally watched the 8th and final episode of Season 1. And what a journey it's been. It is a prequel to the movie series directed by Andy Muschietti, which came out first in 2017 and then I think 2019 for the sequel.
Don't ask me, I don't know.
But, you know, it's Bill Skarsgård. He's back as Pennywise, but we follow him 27 years before the first movie in the 50s as a new group of kids takes the stage and try to thwart him in his evil schemes. And yeah,
good synopsis, babe. Well done.
Thank you.
You pulled that out of nowhere, didn't you?
Well, I've been sitting on this for a while because it's been a long 8 weeks, but my God, what a great time it's been. I feel like not since The Penguin, which was actually similar time last year. I've been very, very impressed by a TV show.
Absolutely, it's taken up until the 15th of December.
As of time of recording.
To finally get a good show this year. Yeah, I feel like we have watched some good things this year, you know, that's not true. But
one of the
this
greats,
has certainly been, this is up there with with like some of the very, very best shows. I really, really enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As well. Really, really enjoyed it.
Because did you have much of an experience with the film then? Had you've seen the film?
Yeah, so I saw the first film in cinemas and I remember specifically wearing a fur coat so that I could hold the fur here and then the fur would be like covering like my eyes a little bit because I was really scared and it did freak me out, but I remember that I actually liked the film even though it was scary because it feels quite grounded, you know, it's not like Paranormal Activity or The Exorcist or something, like it's quite like, I don't know why it feels more grounded to me. In my strange
Is it because it's
mind.
Like kids, like a group of kids, you know?
I think it's Pennywise himself. I think there's just like there's a really good like core story and a core reason why he does these things and who he is and stuff like that you get a real sense that he is a character in and of himself.
So he's just a good villain, basically.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Rather than like a horror ghost ghoul whatever, he's his own character. And I think that's why it sets it apart, especially in this show as well. But yeah, I did go to see it at the cinema. I enjoyed it. I never watched the second one because I was scared of the first one, and then I heard that it wasn't as good, so I was like, I'm not going to stress myself out if it's not as good as the first.
No, and you're definitely right. The second half wasn't as good. It was a very long film. I've not watched it since I saw it in the cinema, whereas like It Chapter 1 I could watch on repeat.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, even watching this show, I want to watch It Chapter 1 because it's a good it's a good prequel. It follows on very, very well to it.
It does. Yeah. And I think that I didn't want to watch this originally. When you said, oh, you know, I really want to watch it, will you watch it with me? I was like, no, I'm not doing it because it's too scary. I don't like scary things. I don't like horror. I think I've accepted myself now that I just don't like it. I don't get any enjoyment out of watching it because it's too scary. But this was different. There's just something different about it. And I think that horror in TV show format, in the format of a TV show, I normally prefer a film. Like I will always prefer a film over a TV show. But for a horror, a TV show is actually better because there's more periods of relaxing and, you know, we're just getting the story together and we're establishing what the plot is and stuff like that. There's more chance to like breathe. Whereas when it's an hour and a half film, something's happening every couple of minutes and you're just like constantly on edge. Whereas this feels more like a story, but there's also a horror villain. Yeah,
well, and I think like we're going to do non-spoilers and then we're going to go into spoilers. But I feel like for this show, it tells all really that Pennywise himself doesn't actually appear until like the 4th or 5th episode.
It works so well
and like
as well.
You just have this sense of like dread in that build up to him actually showing up because you see like his other forms and stuff beforehand, like there's some good bits of horror here and there of like the different forms he takes, but when he actually shows up and like Bill Skarsgård's like back on screen, like it, you know, all bets are off and like he's just I don't like, you can tell he just loves the character. He loves playing this character.
He's got such a presence, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah.
And I think what they ran the risk of when, you know, we know and love the character, love. We know the character of Pennywise is very iconic. That's what we're waiting for. You know, we know that it's coming. And sometimes it can fall into like the cringe, can't it? When you're like waiting and then it's like, whoa, the big reveal, he's back. It can get cringe very, very easily. But actually, I found that it worked so well because the rest of the story was already so like formed. It made sense. There was proper reasoning behind it. And then when he did appear, you just like get that sense of dread, and you know what the characters are about to experience. You know that, you know, this is just the beginning. It's only going to get worse from here, and it just works so well. But by that point, you already know, like, because the kids are the main characters, really, you already kind of know and love the sort of central characters in the story, so you really like, oh no, you know, here he comes, and when are we going to see him and stuff, you know.
Well, like, there's an A and B plot, really. You got the kids story and then like the military story, which kind of like they come to a point in the story, and that's when Pennywise shows up, and it's like he, you know, gets involved with both things well and truly from that point on. But I think, like, you know, the components of the show, like the acting and stuff, is good. Like the kid actors here are really, really
top notch.
Good.
Really, like, much praise to the child actors in this. They were just actors, you know. They weren't.
I mean, like,
they were really good.
I mean, like the characters themselves, like maybe a couple of them maybe got a bit annoying. Like Ronnie, for example, kind of annoyed us. She gets a bit annoying. And like even Lily, like the main girl,
she gets a bit annoying
to
as
a point. Yeah. But like, you know, Marge, she was really good. Rich was good. Mike is Mike, isn't it? No, Will.
Richie's my favourite.
Yeah, Rich is. Yeah,
absolutely
Rich is good.
Love him.
Yeah. But like, yeah, really, really good. It's like a mixture of ages, because I think like Marge is like 17 in real life and Rich is 12. But like, you don't. They feel like the same age. But no, they really well performed. Again, Skarsgård, like, talked to death about him as Pennywise. Like, he's really good. But like the adult cast is good as well. You know, Will's dad, who's the, what is his name? I was literally thinking this earlier today. But like, he's good. Halloran, he's good. From The Shining fame, which I thought was a very cool, like, Stephen King Easter egg in this universe, in this story. But like, and you know, like Will's mum as well, like they're all,
she's good in it. I like her.
Like there's no phoning in, there's no bad performances, everything is good, and
everybody's really, really bringing it, and the story is bringing it, and the, you know, the costumes and like, and the design of Pennywise and all the different, everything is just like, they're really going for it, and there's so much care, I think, love and care and attention that's been put into this, and that's what makes it so great.
And I mean, like, ultimately, you know the story, it's a prequel, so some things, like some characters need to live for X character in the future film to be there. So, you know, there's some bits that maybe take you out of it, or there's no stakes in some bits, but like, even though you know where it's going to end, because obviously Pennywise is in a future film, so he's not going to die here, you know, but like how it gets there is still very entertaining, and you still care about this cast of characters. It's not like, oh well, I know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to sack it off and not
you don't feel
really
like
care.
No.
But no, it's a very well told story. There's no like dud episodes here, and like some episodes in particular are, like episode 7 was really, really good. It's the penultimate one, and even just the intro, like, again, to this world, and like bringing back the idea of like Pennywise and it, basically, even though again Pennywise isn't in the first episode. It's just this, get the feeling.
It's good to just get a better sense for where he came from, how he came to Earth, how he's contained, and, you know, the
why he chose Derry sort of thing.
And the Native Americans. Can I say, is it Native Americans? Am I allowed to say that? The Native Americans, you know, and the story that they have, and how long he's been there, and that they've been kind of, you know, the story around that. It just everything just like complements so well, like, because you've got like the real horror of what the kids are experiencing, and then the like human horror of what like the adults are experiencing,
and like the town of Derry, isn't it itself, is like how corrupt and like racist and like
evil. Are you
evil.
saying Derry?
Yeah, Derry.
Is it not Derry?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Yeah.
Welcome to Derry. I don't know.
Welcome to Derry.
You two are going to love Derry.
I don't know.
It's Derry.
Yeah, Derry. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really listen to the pronunciation. I think people just say Derry. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're American, aren't they?
Yeah, so that might
Derry?
be why. Yeah. So
I'm from America. I say Derry.
You sound like Canadian there, but oh well.
Canadian. I can't
Yeah,
really
I'm
do
from
an
Derry.
can't really do an American accent.
Yeah, can't really say.
I can only do like Kim Kardashian. You know.
Yeah. I get you. But like,
Derry.
The
Let's
setting,
just say Derry.
The town is
Derry.
Yeah, is how evil it is and like racist and just like how Pennywise's influence like affects everyone in the town and just like there is something off about it. Like that's just very good world building. In it.
Very good.
I think like otherwise, again, like the look of the show is very good. Like again, they're not phoning in. It's your classic HBO. Like I think any HBO show.
Yeah, you know
good.
that it's gonna have
and, like,
good production value
and the effects and stuff as well.
Yeah,
like all very good. Like creature
great.
effects and practical effects. It's all
all
there. And I mean, I was thinking like, oh yeah, Andy Muschietti directed this and like made the It films when he also did The Flash. One of the worst films we've ever seen on this podcast.
Well, that could be one of two things. The Flash is massive production, studios looking down and breathing down your neck all the time, lots of different voices, trying to keep it this, trying to keep it that, whereas he probably had a lot more creative control over this.
Yeah, it could very well be.
So I think that's the big difference. And that's always the case. If you let somebody just go off and do what they actually want to do and they have control, like Christopher Nolan, he always does a good film, but that's because he does few but good, but he has to have all this creative control. He's probably a nightmare to work with because he's probably just like, it's my way or the highway, you've got to do it how I want, and if it's not exactly my vision, then it's not happening. He's probably an absolute nightmare, but it gets results, so people like put up with it, so I imagine this is like, not that he's Christopher Nolan, but it's a similar thing. You have more control over it,
and it's something he's passionate about, like him and Bill Skarsgård, like the two of them. It was interesting watching the behind the scenes. Like Andy Muschietti's wife Barbara, who produces the show with him, said, him and Bill are like this, cut from the same cloth, like they're sort of like linked. I think it was cosmic twins. I think is what she said. Like they've got such a connection.
Lovely? Yeah. I think that's lovely. So we were really into this, because we were watching the episodes, then watching the behind the scenes, watching the next time trailers, watching people like talking about it every week. So we were really like into it, weren't we? So that's what I like.
Exactly. It's the type of gripping television there is.
So it's what television, and film and whatever.
It's a good. It's been good having this kind of in between Stranger Things because I almost feel like this is. I don't know what
this
it is.
This is better than Stranger Things.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Remains to be seen. If the final season might blow our minds. We've only seen a third of it.
4 episodes,
which we'll talk about, no doubt, on this podcast. But yeah, no, it's been like it is just. I don't know. I think it's just like you say. I think Pennywise just as a villain. Like it's not like he's like Vecna from Stranger Things, where he's like.
Vecna's
I don't feel like Vecna
cringe.
has like the charm or like.
He's not got the charm.
Yeah, whereas like Pennywise, again, I could just watch Bill Skarsgård.
He's captivating.
He is.
Vecna
very,
doesn't captivate me at all, and I'm not really scared of him. Whereas Pennywise, I'm really scared of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What would you score it then before we go on to some spoiler talk?
I am going to give it a 9. And the only reason why it's a 9 other than a 10 is because of the final episode.
Okay.
I loved it. It was great. It was absolutely amazing. But it was definitely like a tying everything up, all the loose ends, which obviously a final episode has to be.
Yeah.
And, and I really like the way that it tied up, but it just didn't hit me whereas some of the other episodes, they were just so good, and then the finale wasn't as good as those other episodes.
I get you,
but I reckon that if I watched it again, I think it could be a 10. But I think just having the finale be the thing that I've literally just watched, it wasn't as powerful as the 7th episode or the episode, or I think it was the 4th episode that was really good as well. There's some really just amazing episodes. But the finale is the lingering taste in my mouth. It was brilliant. Really liked the way that it was tied up. But it wasn't like a power. This is but obviously it can't be because it's got to tie it up. It's got to end.
It's a prequel,
so it's not going to be, So I wasn't expecting it to be as scary as the other one. Oh, that's I forgot to say about the one we watched it last week in the morning. Because we came down, again, this is how obsessed we were. We came down, we woke up early and we came down to watch it so that we could not get any spoilers because obviously it releases at 2 a.m. our time.
Stupid America.
In the UK. Yeah. So we came downstairs, we were sat on the sofa and we were watching it, and at the end, there's a bit of a jump scare, I guess, and I screamed out like ah, like that, like literally screamed. Because I was just, I was a bit tired. It was early in the morning, but I was like so like I was so wrapped up in what was going on that I was like ah, So, but that was great. That was a good like that was a good fear. That was because it was and then I was like laughing. So that was a good moment. It's not like a lot of the time when I'm watching a horror film, I'm just like I can't even watch it because like the tension is just so awful. I can't even bear it. But I didn't get the same feeling with this. So that was a long story. 9 out of 10.
I'd probably go for the same, I think. I think it's just, again, the prequel thing. Like, I kind of get what you mean. Like, the finale, like, I've seen a lot of people say it's one of the best finales they've ever seen, which I can see, because, it's so easy for a TV show in this day and age to just fumble and do a crap final episode. Whereas this does tie things together in a bow. It does a good, like, prelude and like hints to stuff in the future films to come. And I know for me, like as well, it's going to be a 3-season TV show, and they go back in time each one. So I guess whether the ending for me kind of made me think, but is it going to work in a future series? Because like again, you've got the prequel problem and like the
but I
stakes.
think the things that they've set up almost.
Yeah.
I think that leaves a lot of room for interpretation.
Could do.
A lot of room for we're just going to do this thing over here, but it doesn't really matter if it impacts the rest of the story because of all the things that we've set up and the lore that we're bringing in. So I think that actually they've done themselves a favour with this by opening it right up to other series, other films, however much they want to rinse it. But as long as it's this good quality, then I'm down for it.
But no, I'd say it's incredibly well made, really, really enjoyable, highly recommend it. So if you're going to check anything out from this year, check out It Welcome to Derry for definite. But I think let's move on to some spoilers now, guys. So this is your spoiler warning.
Spoilers ahead.
So a personal thing for me is in episode 7 again, which is probably our favourite episode of the whole series, it does give like the Pennywise backstory of why he takes the form of Pennywise the clown. And you see it's 1908 and it's Bob Gray, who's the circus clown who is Pennywise, that's his persona. And then you just see like him interacting with the kids. He does like this little sad story at the circus. Again, like even just Bill Skarsgård not doing anything, not saying anything.
Yeah.
Just emoting with like his face. It's like so good in that moment. But you see it in like this child form watching him from the distance and like thinking, that's something I can use. And then he like lures him away later on in the opening, and like that's when he kills him and then takes his form. But it's such an interesting like background for the character, and it like plays into well with Mrs. Kirsch, who's like a reoccurring character, and then you find out she's been like kind of orchestrating things around Derry, like trying to get people to a certain place to then have this massacre happen in episode 7 for Pennywise to then show up, because Pennywise is taking the form of her dad.
That is really I do like that.
It's
really
good,
like that
twist,
plot point.
isn't it?
Yeah. That she's like, she thinks it's her dad, so she's almost like calling him and and leading kids to him and like giving him what he wants and helping him out essentially, because she thinks that that's what's going to bring her dad back, or maybe he'll stick around, and he knows that it's her and stuff like that. So I did really like that, and it did create some some stuff to happen, which is like good, so that was a very well thought through.
And you get like there's been a lot of memes on the internet about like Pennywise just messing with people in like this series and just like his facial expressions, because it's like when she like confronts him about it and says, what did you do to my father, and he's like, I ate him. And it's just like him like looking around like at the sort of like, how do I come up with an excuse here?
That's why he's so good, because he is playing. It's like a dog would play with a toy, or a baby would play with a toy. They're just like, whoa, showing off and then he like
starts to
out, and then he gets really scary. And that's what you never know when he's going to flip. Like, he can start being all like jokey, and you're kind of like, you're a bit weird, and then all of a sudden he's like terrifying.
Well, in that moment especially, he like kind of plays along with her a little bit and like says the same things like her dad used to say, and then he's like, right, I'm gonna go sleep for 27 years then, goodbye. And she's like, no, you can't do that, you can't leave me. And he's like, right, I'm gonna have to take you out now, or brainwash you now, or whatever he does to her. But yeah, it's just like you say, it's playing with his food sort of thing, because then he's like, oh, I can feel your dad right now. He's reaching out to you. And it's just him just messing with her, and she's like, oh, get away, stop it. And then he does the deadlights, which again, very cool. The deadlights are an awesome thing.
I
in
just
the show.
Absolutely love in the final episode. Is it the final episode? Yeah, it's with the school.
Yeah, the kids. Yeah.
And he goes to the school and he, opens up his mouth and all the kids, like, there's loads of them, 50 kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're all floating, and then he takes them out onto the ice because he's trying to cross the river, because essentially there's a gate around Derry with all these different pillars of this stone which had fallen with him.
He came in a meteorite.
Yes.
And all the shards of the meteorite are being used to cage him because he can't get
Derry.
past the barrier. Yeah.
But the military have taken one away, so there's this gap for him to get through. So he's trying to go towards this gap whilst everybody... And that's the final episode. So it is good, that there's all this time pressure on it.
It's the stupidest plan ever, from the military. That is cartoonishly evil. It's just
that is my one of my problems with it, which we'll get to, is the military's whatever.
So I can't carry on.
But anyway, I just really like it because he's out on the lake on the frozen ice. All the kids are floating behind the carriage that he's in, the circus carriage, and he's sat in the front playing the tuba, and he's like boom, boom, boom,
I don't know why.
Almost like he could be playing that, and it's just the funniest thing, and that's why he's so good, because he's funny as well. It's just awful, but he's terrified. So that really made me chuckle.
And when he's running on the ice, and he's just skipping away.
Yeah.
I like the bit as well with the army general who he kills on the ice, because it's just he gets
good payoff that is.
Again, we're not going beat by beat, it's very general, but he's frozen in place, and then the army general kind of snaps him out of it, and then he's right, you can go, there's the door, run away, and then he's kind of oh, thank you, starts to go, and then he smells the general, because he actually met him when he was a kid years and years ago and tried to eat him and didn't succeed. He's oh, I remember you. And he's just I'm going to get you now. And the general's oh, stay away. That's the most stupid bit. It's oh, I'll show you. And then he just gets eaten. It's just,
I like that, though, because it is, I really dislike that general character.
Yeah.
Not as a, You're
meant to.
Yeah, you're meant to hate him. By design, the way it's written, I really
because
don't like him.
It's basically the military want to open the cage that Pennywise is in so he can then spread fear throughout America. And
I think that's what's a bit silly. I didn't quite... That scene where he's do you know what keeps people in their place? Fear. Yeah. Something and I was just oh, come on, mate, that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
I know.
That's the only thing.
It's founded in some logic, because they say whenever these terrible things happen every 27 years with Pennywise, the town goes calm, and then it is fine and dandy basically, and then it starts up again 27 years. But obviously it's a lot of dead kids, and if he got to the rest of America, it's just going to be just a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
But apparently that's the way to do it. Because I thought originally it was going to be they somehow need him to fight the Russians. Because I think that's how they phrased it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, we could drop him in any environment and he could spread fear throughout the enemy. But then actually it's more for your home base. They want to try and save America by releasing...
Yes, by releasing this fear.
So it's ridiculous, but
it's a bit silly.
It works for the plot,
Yeah, for the plot, it's fine. It's okay, fine. You can have that one. That's the only silly thing that you're doing. Yeah. I would have probably preferred it if it was just we're going to take him to fight in...
I don't know.
The Cold War? I don't know. What's the time period?
Yeah, no, you're right with it, because it's very Russia, fighting Russia. But
it's all that kind of era, isn't it?
But there's so many set pieces and stuff we could talk about, because early episodes you get the stuff the lamp that has the skin on it to scare that Jewish kid. Lily, when she goes to the shops and her dad died in a pickle factory, and then all the pickle jars and then they all smash parts. And then they fuse together and make this pickle monster. It's ridiculous.
Marge, she sees
sees
this slug that has it's infected.
Eyes. Yeah.
And so she sees these eyes on her, and she's getting
they poke out of her.
Yeah. So they're poking out, and she gets this fork and she digs out her own eye basically. So she has an eye patch, and everybody thinks that it's Lily and stuff like that. It's just so good.
Yeah.
But the saddest thing, and we have to talk about the black spot, because this is something that is apparently in the books. I've never read the book, so
Well,
I can't really
basically,
comment.
the black spot concept is like this tragic event that happened. So like, it's in the book, it's mentioned. So they took that as the building block to then shape the story of the TV show around that.
Yes, they did.
So it's kind of
that was from the behind the scenes.
Yeah, all going to this. Sorry, I feel like I'm putting my hand in front of your camera, but it's all reaching this point basically to get to the black spot.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. So the black spot is basically this like military hangout, essentially,
For all the black soldiers.
Because they're a little bit outcast. So they are all hanging out there, and because the thing that kind of kicks it all off is, what's her name? Ronnie.
Ronnie, yeah.
Ronnie is at this. Ronnie and her dad. Ronnie's dad is basically accused of killing some kids.
Who Pennywise killed.
Pennywise actually killed them. So he gets out of prison, and they're hiding him at the black spot. But Ronnie is one of the kids with her and all the other kids. So they're all hanging out at the black spot. They're all having a really lovely time.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a love interest going back and forth between Marge, who has the eye patch, and Richie, the best one. The best kid out of them all. I love him. I just think he's lovely. Like what a lovely little kid.
Yep.
So they've got like a bit of a love interest. But anyway, people come to the black spot because they know that Ronnie's dad is hiding there. But rather than just, coming to take him away, they just try and burn the whole place down.
Yeah.
So it's such a good scene. It's so well filmed and just so well put together. So the whole thing's on fire. There's loads of smoke everywhere. They're all running around like headless chickens. Loads of them are being shot as well because they
can't get
they've
out.
petrol bombed it. They can't get out. They're shooting at them as well. The kids are in there. It's really scary. Halloran is seeing dead bodies, and the dead bodies point for him for a way out, but things fall. Marge and Richie are trapped. So Richie gets inside this Richie finds this like big metal,
freezer,
tin,
freezer,
and says to Marge like, right, we're both going to get in here. And then she gets in, and she says, "There's no room for you. There's no room for you." And he's like, "I know." And he he closes it and he lies on top of it and he's like, "You're not getting out. You're not getting out." And he sacrifices himself for her.
Yeah.
And it's just such a lovely scene. And he's saying, "Oh, do you remember when?" I can't even remember what he says, but he's just saying like it's just so.
Well, he says
lovely,
there was a
but
time.
awful.
He said the first time he saw her, she said, "Oh, why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer." He said, "Oh, I thought about all the things I could say," and he said, "Oh, I just say I wish I could." Basically,
yeah.
And then they tell each other they love each other, don't they?
But it's just so lovely. It's just, it's awful. It's tragic. Tragic is probably the best word because that means it's like it's a lovely moment, but also like sad undertones. It's just so tragic, but it's just so well done. It's like so well handled, and the script is fantastic. Like everything that they're saying to each other is fantastic. The performances are fantastic. The way that it's filmed is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just such this moment in time. And I was like in tears. Like I think we both had tears in our eyes. We were really, and you really like get a sense for the pair of them. And it's also not cringe. Because sometimes when there's like love stories and love interests in anything, and especially with like kids, they're young, but they're just like
they got good chemistry.
They've got a different. You have a different sort of connection, when you're going through something like really traumatic together. You know?
Yeah.
So you can really feel it. It's like palpable. Like in the air. So it's just but it's honestly so sad, but so well done, and it makes for such a good episode. Like such good like telly. You know.
No, and
absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no. Honestly, episode 7 is a real highlight of the show.
It is. It is.
But like I say, there's so many different set pieces and stuff, but I feel like we have gone over like the main talking points we had for this series. Like, but also I can't close out this review without mentioning that the intro to the show, it's themed.
You've been obsessed, haven't you?
It's just brilliant. Yeah, I don't know, like such an earwig of a TV intro. Like,
it is a bit of an earwig.
It's not like a new song they've come up with. It is a pre-existing like song from the 50s or whatever, Smile and a Ribbon. But yeah, it's just like catches you a bit off guard because it's not in the first episode. The first episode's just the title pops up. That's it. Whereas the second episode throws in this. Well, you can see the title card a little bit behind us, but yeah, just this charming little cartoon thing. But then you see Pennywise in the background, and then it gets.
It's a really good intro. I mean, the song gets on my nerves, but only because
you've
been playing it. I keep singing it because it's in my head because you keep playing it and singing it and whatever. It's just always like echoing. But I do really like the intro to it. Like it is really. I can appreciate a really good intro, and this is like probably the best intro of like a TV
Yeah.
series, you know. Like it's so good because it's just so like imaginative and different, you know.
Yeah, and it's like, as well as it goes on, like it gets more and more disturbing as well. Like this
Yeah.
little droning sound that gets longer and longer
Yeah.
as the episodes go on. So it feels like your unease is there every time you tune in. But yeah, no, what a theme tune! I will say it now.
Yeah,
as
really
far as
good.
TV show theme tunes go,
Yeah,
it's
they can be a bit hit and a miss, can't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked this. And do you know what I'm looking for? If they are doing more series of this and they're going back in time, I would love to see like this, but in like the 1800s, you know, where it's
it
all
won't be.
candle. I know, but it should be. How
it
cool
won't
would
be.
that be? It's all candlelight and
they're doing-
whatever, or camping out in the woods, and that's how they originally find it, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
like
no.
that would be so cool.
It's going to be, they've done this one, which is the 50s. They're going to do 1930, whatever. So when Mrs. Kirsch worked in the asylum, was feeding kids to Pennywise, so that time period, because that's when, in the intro, you got that gang fight when they're getting shot by Pennywise. That's the tragic event in that era.
Right.
And then in season 3, it's 1908, which the tragic thing in this era is literally the thing with the Easter eggs and the bunny and blowing up.
Right.
That you see in the trailer, and like it's in the first film. So that's what they're doing. It's again taking these events and then crafting a story around them.
how
But,
you get to the big event.
but if it's
yeah.
more like world building and stuff, like I'm interested just to see what they do.
Oh
They
yeah,
do,
because they kind of hint at the end
Yeah.
that he. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. You explain it.
it's basically Pennywise experiences time all at once. So the past, present, and future.
Yeah.
He knows all the time. You know, it's not in his future. He knows exactly what's going to happen to him. Because when he speaks to Marge, he says, "Oh, you're going to have a son called Richie, and then him and his friends are going to kill me in in it chapter 2, basically."
Richie is Finn Wolfhard.
Yes, her son. Yeah, from it. It chapter 1. So like he knows he's gonna die, but then also he's like, oh, is it my death or is it my birth? Like I get the two.
Yeah,
So it's kind
yeah.
of like, is he purposefully trying to do these things, like kill ancestors of people who are going to kill him in the future, or does he? You know, is he dead? Did he actually die in it chapter 2? So it's like a whole timey-wimey, that's what everyone's been saying, it's timey-wimey, just gobbledygook, but it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's just interesting as well. Like,
It is.
if
And this
he's
is what I
doing all
mean, that
these
they've,
things
like-
knowing where it's going to go,
Exactly.
you know.
And this is why I'm saying they've really left it wide open, because they could be like, oh, we're doing something over here. And actually, it could be like every single character that we know from this TV show, for example, like it's happening to, you know, their parents, whatever, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
And it's like, but actually the stakes are there, because it's like, actually he could kill them now and change time in the future, you know, like it's all possible now. So that's why I mean they've really opened it up to bring in more lore and explain things, as long as they don't push it too far, which I
Yeah, it
don't
could
think
be.
they will.
Yeah, because I mean, it could also be like the Avengers thing, where it's kind of like, if you change the past, doesn't change the future,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Like he still dies,
That's just
but
your future starts from, which I always liked about the Avengers
Yeah.
and Infinity War, and
Yeah.
that it's like if you went back in time, that you're not changing the past. That's still like your future.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
So
yeah.
you just can't. I really liked that explanation.
So it could just be that he could kill, you know, it could kill Lily's grandpa or something like that, but
Yeah,
Lily
it
still
doesn't
exists.
change,
yeah,
yeah.
you know. But no, I'm really interested to see where it goes from here and
Me
what
too.
season 2 and season 3 have in store for us. But yeah,
Take your time with it, guys. You know, just let's make
they
it good.
will. Yeah. Or if, you know, if it could be yearly, I won't complain. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah,
clearly
like,
it's in the
yeah.
hands of people who really care about
Yeah.
it. So, but no, honestly, could not recommend this enough. It's a good.
Yeah.
Good show to come in just towards the tail end of 2025. So who
Been
knows?
good to
Maybe
watch it. It's a good, you know, evening,
Exactly.
dark evening.
yeah,
kind of,
and who knows?
programme.
Maybe it could become the best TV show of 2025 when we do our ranking of the stuff we've seen this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much for listening to our review for It, Welcome to Derry. Have you guys seen it though? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and like and follow for more videos like this. And we'll be talking about something very Christmassy very soon for you all. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you in the next video.